Good morning, friends. Chris Cook in Nashville here. How's everybody doing today? I am driving to work. My vlog video is going to come out probably tomorrow morning instead of today, so I figured I'd just do a little short video here for you guys. This is something that I've been kind of thinking might be sort of a cool style of video to do on occasion. Just let you guys drive to work with me, and we'll just chat about some stuff on the way. So if you guys like this and would like me to do some more of these, let me know. I can just kind of do these on occasion and tell you what's on my mind. But my vlog video for this week, I'm probably going to do tomorrow morning because I need to come home later and film, because it's going to be a little bit of a special type of vlog video. If you look back in my vlog videos, there's actually one that I did where I was in my studio. I think it was maybe like the second one I did or something, and I was in my studio. And I think I'm going to do something a little more along those lines today, but I'm going to wait till I get home to film the vlog regardless. Anyway, so I thought I'd drop this to you guys and just let you know that vlog will be coming out tomorrow morning instead of this morning today, as I normally do on Tuesdays. But you know, instead of filming it while I'm on my lunch break at work and then posting it immediately, I will just film it this evening when I get home. So anyway, sorry for you guys shaking around a little bit. I need to get a little bit more stable of a phone mount. But anyway, I'm driving to work, and you know, something that I think is funny is sometimes when I'm getting some comments on some of my videos, especially lately, because the channel has really blown up because of you guys, and because of, like, the Keto twins did a review of the mashed potato recipe, and they absolutely loved it, which was so kind of them to do that and send people my way, and I'm so glad they liked it. Wouldn't have been a very happy moment if they had tasted it and wanted to spit it back out. But no, they absolutely loved it, and I was really glad that they enjoyed it and that it worked well. So anyway, so I get these comments now, especially because there's more, you know, people coming to the channel because of someone like that. I mean, you guys have made the channel blow up, and then, you know, people like them, they pick up on it because you guys are talking about it. And so then they find it and they decide to give it a shot. And I thought that was super cool, very kind of them. And so then that drives a lot of other traffic to my channel. You know, people who maybe wouldn't necessarily watch my stuff, but it pops up in their feed because so many other people are watching. And I think it's funny sometimes, you know, you get comments from people that are talking about, like, you know, in a few years you're going to have triple bypass surgery eating this way, or, you know, you're going to have a heart attack and die, or, you know, any of these kinds of things. Like people really massively overreact, and they get very dramatic very quickly. And I understand why. I mean, you know, we've been told that fat is bad for you, and that red meat is inflammatory and it's going to kill you and cause heart disease, and too much protein is going to destroy your kidneys. And there's all these different things we've been told, right? Like, we have been told so many different things that are, as Dr. Barry says, just lies. You know, lies my doctor told me, right? Great book, by the way. If you haven't read that, go check that out. I have the audiobook version of it. It's fantastic. But we've been told all of this stuff, and so people come on the channel and they, you know, they freak out and they massively overreact, and they, you know, lose their minds and then tell me I'm gonna die and all this kind of stuff. And I just kind of wanted to say, on a video this morning, I was just kind of thinking about it, like, if you guys think that there might be some concern here, you're worried about your heart health, you're worried about your kidneys, you're worried about any of these other things, and you are, concerned that this diet may be making things worse or that it's going to lead to some kind of disease, I would really encourage you to just go do the research. And, Dr. Barry's videos are a great place to start because he always attaches the medical research, all of the medical studies in his show notes, so you can go look at the actual studies that other people are using and other people are looking at. And then he also explains them really well. If you have other doctors out there that you really trust, Dr. Saivez has great information, Dr. Chafee has great information, Dr. Sean Baker has great information, Dr. Westman, Dr. Berg, Jason Fung. All of these people have fantastic information. And they don't always 100% agree on every single detail, but for the most part, they all sit right there in that same general zone. And it's kind of, it's the little details maybe they might have their own views and opinions on, which we all do, and that's fine. But as a general rule, like keto, ketovore, carnivore, they're all for it, they're all about it, and they see the benefit of all of this stuff. And so I just would encourage you to go and look at those things, right? Go look at the research, go actually check what the truth is. And, do your own research on this, because there's a lot of people out there that will make comments to you, and they may be very well meaning, but they'll make comments like, oh, you're going to die, and, whatever. And maybe it's because they're concerned about you. Some people just want to elevate themselves above you and act like they're better and smarter than you and make you seem like you're stupid because you're doing this. And so they will spout off things that they've heard elsewhere in their lives, not because they've done any research themselves, and probably not because they even eat the way that they're claiming to a lot of times. You might get some people that do, but not necessarily even that they live the lifestyle they're saying you should. It's just they don't live the lifestyle that you currently are trying to, and they have to make themselves feel better about the fact that they don't live that way. So some people may have concern, some people just want to bring you down, but either way, you need to empower yourself with your own research, and you need to be able to have your own resolve and your own confidence that what you're doing is right. One of the best things I've ever done is when I first started learning about keto and carnivore, I would literally put like Dr. Barry's videos on as like almost like a podcast in the background as I was in this vehicle that I patrol in when I'm at work. And I would just listen to everything that he was saying, and I would do this day after day after day after day after day, because it's like whether you have, music turned on or something else, you've got something turned on in the vehicle, I may as well be learning something, right? And, he even says in his videos, like, put this on like a podcast if you want or whatever. And I was like, that's a great idea. So I did that. And I did that for months. And I've been through, I think, about every modern video, at least in probably the last 4 years, 5 years maybe, on his channel. I have been through pretty much all of them. There might be occasionally ones that I haven't been through, but other than missing a few random ones here and there that aren't going to make a difference, I've pretty much watched all his stuff. And whether it's him or someone else, do the research and give yourself the opportunity to have the resolve and the confidence to know that what you're doing is good for you, and that this is truly a good way of life for you. Because it's difficult sometimes when other people say to you, like, hey, you're going to kill yourself, this is a terrible idea, blah, blah, blah. Whether they mean that because they love you and they're concerned about you, or whether they're saying that because they're just trying to elevate themselves above you, regardless, that can be sort of a scary thing to hear from people. And, quite honestly, it's not just people in our lives we hear this from. It's doctors, and it's people that are on TV and the media and, 1,000 other places where all of this information can sort of disseminate from. And, if you know in your heart of hearts that what you're doing is based on good research, and you feel a sense of resolve and a sense of confidence in the decision you're making for your health, and you're not questioning what you're doing because you've actually looked into it for yourself, it makes a huge difference, right? So don't do this because I tell you to do this. Don't do this because Dr. Barry tells you to do this. Don't do this because anybody tells you to do this. Do this because you've gone to sources like Dr. Barry who you trust and who use medical research to back it up. Do this because you've seen the evidence in people like me losing over 100 pounds eating this way and taking back control of my mental health and all these, emotional things. Go to people like Dr. Chafee, who has the experience on both sides. Go to people like Dr. Baker and watch just the athleticism and the muscle development from the way that he eats. Like, go to all of these different resources. People that are cooking this way, people that are average people living this way, doctors that are giving you examples in research, whatever it is you need. Go find those people, do the research, and then take that evidence and use that and have resolve in your own decision, because you say, like, look, there it is. It's right there in front of me. There is the evidence. And although someone may be very well-meaning when they're telling me that this is bad for me, da-da-da-da-da, they have not looked at this. They have not done the research. They have not read the studies. They do not know these kinds of recipes. They come from Chris Cooking Nashville. Like, they don't get what it is I'm doing, and that's okay. They don't have to understand it right now. Hopefully sometime they will, and by giving them an example in time, they will start to understand and come around, hopefully, and if they don't, then, that's their decision. But have that resolve within yourself and go back and reference the things that make you stronger. I think one of the things so I did keto, and then I went clean keto, and then I went carnivore right before my wedding, and I kind of have done all of that. I apologize for the roads in Nashville, guys. They're terrible because the government here doesn't believe in putting money into fixing our roads, unfortunately. So it's pretty much like playing Mario Kart on a daily basis, trying to dodge everything. So I went keto, and then clean keto, and then carnivore. And then I went back to the standard American diet. And one of the things that really got in my head is I started letting myself question, like, well, is this really good for me? Even though I had done all that research, I just let my resolve falter a little. And it wasn't so much that I thought it was bad for me, so much as I started to think, like, well, maybe these other things, right? And then it was the excuse of, well, how expensive meat is becoming in the economy and blah, 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 all these things. And it turned into excuses and reasoning with myself. And, we love to negotiate with ourselves to do the things we want to do, specifically related to carbohydrate addiction, which is what I was doing. I was negotiating with myself because of my carb addiction, and I didn't really understand fully what my carb addiction was doing to me. Now, I'm on a much better side of that now, and I am far more resolved than I was then, which is why I've had no issue sticking to it for over 6 months at this point, and not a single cheat meal. And if you had a cheat meal and, whatever, don't be down on yourself and feel like you're somehow not doing something right. You're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. Just go right back to what you're doing. If you slip up and eat the whole bag of Doritos, as Dr. Barry says, go right back the next meal to eating carnivore and, or keto or ketovore, whatever it is you're doing. And, don't beat yourself up over it. None of us are perfect, and there's going to be times where things don't work quite the way that we want them to. That's called being alive. That's called being a human being. And that's fine. Just don't allow it to become a thing where you reason it and negotiate it to where you can do it all the time. Go do the research on these things. Have the resolve that says, no, I'm not going to do this stuff because that is not good for me. And although the medical system and society as a whole tries to tell me this is good for me, look what that's actually based on. Look at all of the political things that are behind why recommendations are being made dietarily. Look at all the money that is made from people that are the ones that control those recommendations. When they make certain recommendations, look how much money changes hands. There's a lot of different things that factor in. So just take the time, do the research, understand why things are happening the way they are, and realize that that these kinds of things go so far beyond just your diet. Have the resolve for yourself, for your own well-being and your own medical prosperity, that you can choose to do carnivore or keto or ketovore, whatever you do, proper human diet. You can choose to do it intentionally, and you are not afraid of someone critiquing what you're doing or flat out criticizing what you're doing, insulting you, telling you you're going to die, telling you, I literally have had people like, I'm going to laugh when you have your autopsy results come out in 10 years and we all know how stupid you were. People like that are crazy, okay? So don't let people like that dissuade you from doing what is good for you. You know, do the research, know what it is you're getting into, so that you're not just taking this at face value because I'm saying to do it, or even Dr. Berry is saying to do it. Like, I think Dr. Berry, you know, would probably, or any of the doctors for that matter, I think in this space, would probably say, watch my video and then go read the research. Don't just believe me. Go look at it for yourself. And if you can't understand the medical research, if you're having a hard time understanding it as you read it, do what you need to do to learn how to understand that, or listen to my explanation of what it is they're saying, and then go research that and make sure what I'm saying is true. And, you know, these guys aren't trying to hide behind anything. I'm not trying to hide behind anything. You know, I'm still overweight. And when we do the vlog post that I'm going to do, that'll come out tomorrow morning, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Because this frame that I am in, it's not where it needs to be. I'm still working on it. So I'm going to do a post. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about where I am and where I'm trying to go and what I'm doing to get there. And that's just a really important thing to understand. So just don't let other people steal your joy. Don't let other people dissuade you from doing something good for yourself. And here's the deal. Unless there's somebody in your life that you just know is so unbelievably perfect in every single thing in their entire lives, why would you care what someone like that has to say anyway? Even if you care about their opinion because you value who they are and you love them, why would you just blindly believe them? So do your research, make good decisions. Guys, that vlog is going to be coming out tomorrow morning, so keep an eye out for that. And in the meantime, eat your meat, love your life. This is Chris cooking Nashville. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.